No. Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? You already know what it is. It's the Brothers of Truth podcast. It's your boy Stu here with my man. You already know who it is.
It's your boy AT, man. I know y'all miss me. It's been a week or two, man. It's been a minute since we did a show. I know y'all miss me, so we're gonna bring y'all another hell of a show, man. We talking about sports. That's my lifeline. If you know me,
All
that's
day,
my
every
lifeline.
day.
We talking about sports, man. Me and Stu, we do this. We love this. So we're gonna bring y'all a good show. Hope y'all enjoy it. So let's get right in the business.
Exactly, man. 100%, 100%. You know, we love sports. Sports is what we do. I'm from Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, born and raised. I'm a Buckeye till I die. OHIO, they ain't no better. Hey, with that being said, Aaron, go ahead, bro. Hey, today's show is gonna be just like Sports Center, man. We're gonna keep it live. We're gonna keep the highlights rolling for you. So this, if you love sports, this is the episode for you. With that being said, man, let's just dive right on up into it, man. We're gonna talk about basketball.
Yes. And for those who have probably, been staying in tune, with the sports, the NBA, they went into a bubble. So they chose a facility. They to that. Love you, sis. But like I was saying, the NBA took the shot at Orlando, where pretty much they brung all NBA players and they brung 22 teams into the bubble. The 8 teams that didn't make it into the bubble, they were pretty much out of the playoff picture from the jump. And it was pointless, with the virus going on. And, they trying to keep it safe for everyone. They only allowed 22 teams into the bubble who were fighting for playoff spots. So,
Right.
With that being said, man, that bubble, it was some highlights. You had some players show out who didn't show out in the season. Like you wouldn't predict for the Phoenix Suns to go 8-0. You wouldn't predict for the Portland Blazers. Yes, man. Yes, they balled out. Devin Booker held it down. He was the anchor to that ship, man. They held it down for sure. And Monty Williams, he get much respect. He definitely held it together. He got a young team, but they had a lot of talent as well. And they made some noise. They just missed the game. They missed the playoff by a half a game. They would have been in the play-in game, but Portland won and Memphis won when they needed to. So that kind of knocked the Suns out. But much respect to the Suns. They deserve to balled out. They laid it all out there. But make sure y'all look out for them next year. Because Phoenix is going to be an issue in the West. So make sure y'all definitely tune in because they're going to be an issue next year.
Hey, with that being said, man, let's go ahead and dive.
Stu, I just want to kind of jump off.
Oh, yeah.
I was just going to ask you, so what is something that surprised you, in the bubble? What's something that you kind of took, watching it?
Man, personally, man, watching the game, I did not get a chance to watch all the games I wanted to watch because I'm in school and stuff. But I did watch a couple.
Yeah.
Seeing the Suns ball out was definitely something. Every single game, I really gave up on the Suns. To be honest with you, I really gave up on the Suns. I didn't think they were going to last. I didn't think they were going to even play that hard. But they came out, won all 8 games, and gave it a shot to get to the playoffs. They didn't make it, but they had a real good shot of getting in. So I really like how the Suns played. On top of that, Damian Lillard, man, him leading the Trailblazers to just smash that 8th seed. Like, matter of fact, I want the crowd, I want the audience to see this. This is the standing so far for the NBA right here. So 1 through 8 are the people who made the playoffs. The Memphis Grizzlies were right there with them, bro. They were right there with them. So I think personally that they really balled out. The Grizzlies balled hard. The freaking Trailblazers balled hard. I mean, and I think the most ironic thing that I saw was the Lakers really played garbage. The Lakers really played bad.
Yeah.
So that's something to really think about going into the playoffs is what Lakers are we going to see? Are we going to see the good Lakers that we saw before coronavirus, or are we going to see the ass Lakers that we saw in the bubble? So that's the question I really want to know. What Lakers are we going to see?
Definitely, most definitely. And my thing on that is, I don't want to fall into. I really don't. Lakers, they got a bunch of talent, but then again, they had some issues. You got to think about it. LeBron, LeBron was probably relaxing. I know he always have a championship mentality, but at the same time, he has to manage his body. He has to manage his workload and how he moves.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I feel like he was on cruise control. And
Yeah.
that's not always a good thing. I feel like he was on control because at the end of the day, they had bigger things that they needed to handle. And as well, you got another few things like Anthony Davis. He struggled games. Like they lost 3 or 4 of the games they lost Lakers. He only scored under 20 points, and he really wasn't a big factor in those games because he's
Right.
a big part of if they succeed or not. Regardless of what LeBron do, it's gonna fall on Anthony Davis to perform.
Exactly.
He gonna need to put up 25. So you're gonna have to get something from Kuzma as well, because Kuzma is a good third piece. You can classify him as a star, but I don't feel like he's reached that level yet because he hasn't really carried a team.
Reach star status one day. He will.
Most definitely, yeah. I feel like he can. He's a very talented player. Like he went off for like 31 games. He hit about I believe it was 5 or 6 threes, and he was going off in the Lake that game too.
He was.
You see what I'm saying?
And speaking on young rookies that was balling out, bro. Let's get a rookie some time shine real quick, man. Ja Morant definitely should get Rookie of the Year. I think personally he deserves Rookie of the Year. Ja Morant balled out before the Corona and after Corona. Ja Morant was the guy. Zion was good, but he did not ball the way Ja Morant balled.
My thing is for Zion, he would have been right there with, but when you're not playing, you can't make an impact. First off, second of all, when you're not playing up to what people expect or having a major impact on your teammates, another thing, you're not going to get Rookie of the Year. Just think about it. Ja Morant, he was dominant in his position. He was scoring at a lot of levels. His only big issue is really his three-pointer. But another thing is Ja Morant controls the tempo. When you play against the Memphis Grizzlies, Ja Morant, you're going to have to control his pace. Because if you don't control his pace, he's going to run you out that gym. And his teammates are going to feed off of that because he's making everyone around him better. So not only is he scoring and attacking the basket and making all these highlight dunks and different things like that, but he's impacting his teammates and making them feel more than what they may play like, but he's making them feel better so they're going to play better. Just think about it. As his teammates, he have Dillon Brooks. You got Jaren Jackson Jr., who sadly was injured, who was injured in the bubble, which kind of I feel like had a big impact on their chances to win that game against the Blazers as well. You have that kid from Brandon Clark from Gonzaga, who was a nice piece to that puzzle, who really can ball. And you got Giannis Valanciunas. I don't know if I said that right. I apologize to him if I pronounced his name wrong, but you got that big man, that center, who's a baller as well.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yes, man.
I don't know. All I know is like first and foremost, when I play 2K, let's bring it up to people who don't really watch sports like that. When they play 2K, when I play 2K, I created my small forward. I created my small forward, and I got drafted by the Grizzlies. I was like, bro, the Grizzlies, all they got is Ja. I ain't really know about Brandon Clark like that. And I started playing the game. I was like, this Brandon Clark kind of nasty. This Jonas Valanciunas kind of nasty. And I started looking at it like, Yo, the Grizzlies is low key a sleeper, and they all young. Cause think about it, Brandon
Yes,
Clark,
they young. They young. They the youngest team in the league if you go by minutes played.
right? Jaren Jackson Jr. was drafted last year, but then we think, okay, out of the starters, Jaren Jackson Jr. was drafted last year. John Morant was drafted this year. Brandon Clark was drafted this year. So they have that 3 out of their 5 starters were drafted just in the
And
last 2
Dylan
years.
Brooks, right, right. And you forgot Dylan Brooks. I forgot. I'm not sure. I got to kind of look back on it, but he's either first or second year player. Dylan Brooks as well, and he's a nice player. He's a real he a baller. He a baller for sure.
Yeah, and their whole team is just young, bro. Like I'm telling you, 2-3 years, the Grizzlies gonna be back on top. They're gonna have to get a center to fill in Jonas' spot because Jonas kind of old. But besides that, bro, yo, the Grizzlies got it, bro. The Grizzlies got it.
Exactly. With that, Stu, I'm gonna kind of give the people the bubble awards, because they kind of had their bubble award. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the people on to who what. Your bubble MVP, as everybody who watched the bubble or most games should know, Damian Lillard unanimously, like he won with no competition. I'm sorry, respect to Devin Booker. You may say Devin Booker should have won it, and I wouldn't even get mad at that. Also, you may say T.J. Warren. I wouldn't get mad at that, but that Damian Lillard made a big. Not only did he impact his team, but he carried them into the
Carried them.
playing game and to play and into the playoffs. This man, hold on. Let me go to the stat sheet. This man averaged 37.6 points per game throughout the bubble, averaged 9.6 assists, and just think about it. They went 6-2. Without Damian Lillard, 2-4, 1-5, maybe. And to highlight that, he scored 51, 62, no, 61, my bad. 42 in the last 3 games to carry them into that playing game against the Memphis Grizzlies. And in that game, he scored 30 as well. Not Lillard, but McCollum, his partner in crime, showed up as well because I'm sure Lillard was like, man, hey, I'm going to have to try to get my teammates involved because I'm not the only man in. I'm going to need more than just me to carry this team.
Got to.
And he got big help. But Lillard definitely deserved that bubble MVP. Lillard, he definitely earned it though. So that's what I would say to the people who say, well, what about these other players? But with that, I'm gonna go into my bubble coach of the bubble. And you got Monty Williams. All I gotta say, he led the Suns to 8-0 in the bubble with a whole young roster. Like that was big. That was big. And much respect to him. Like he said, go ahead.
I was saying,
Yeah.
so far, Damian Lillard definitely deserves bubble player of the year. Monty Williams definitely gets coach of the year, man. What he did with them Suns, the way he turned them around, and how he had them on the brink of the playoffs is awesome, man. Most def, like. So who would you say? I don't even know if you had this in your notes or not, but I want to ask you this: who would you say had the best turnaround? I'm talking about the team that was garbage in the before COVID, but then after COVID, they was a brand new team. Besides the Suns, obviously. Besides the Suns, who is the team that's like, yo, they really turned around?
The team I would say really turned it, and this might surprise you. I would say Toronto because a lot of people slept on them once Kawhi left. People underestimated them like they weren't going to be. I mean, they may say, oh, Toronto, they good enough to make the playoffs as a 7th, 8th seed. But Toronto came and showed out and put respect on their name. Like, because in the bubble, even before the bubble, but in the bubble, they really cemented that. Like, we are the defending champs. We here.
Right.
And even during the regular season, they were going under the radar. And I know it might not qualify for what you said, but I feel like they would fit into that spot because a lot of people discounted them because they lost such a great player like Kawhi Leonard. So
Yeah,
I would definitely say Toronto. And for a second team, I would say Memphis. To be honest, I would say Memphis as well is another team that I feel like we're turning some necks because didn't nobody expect them to be the 8th seed before basketball went out. Grizzlies were the 8th seed easily. They were up 3-4 games, not three, probably two games.
The Grizzlies,
with the squad they had a healthy Jaren Jackson Jr. You had Ja Morant, you got Dylan Brooks, you got Brandon Clark. They were balling. They were really balling before everything went out. So I would also say the Memphis Grizzlies really turned some heads and they made some serious improvements from where they were.
Most definitely, man. Most definitely. Hey, with that being said, man, we got to get a lady some shine because even though men's basketball, I mean, the NBA is starting to wrap up, the WNBA is starting to get going. So, with that being said, let's get a lady some shine. WNBA standings. Here are the standings for the WNBA as of now. As you see, they're only 10, maybe 11 games into the season. But the Seattle Storm, I was actually watching them earlier today. The Seattle Storm was playing.
It's 10. Go ahead. Let me go.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. I was just gonna say I was gonna talk about the top teams in the women NBA right now. You got the not Las Vegas Aces. Hold on, sorry, my notes messed up. It's the Seattle Suns, I believe. They 10-1. They got, as you can see on the standings, they 13 points, point differential, and they led by Brianna Stewart from Connecticut. She's a baller. You got Sue Bird, old veteran who been dominating WNBA for I don't know how long, and then
just
you have Natasha Howard
that's
holding
Larry
down
Bird's
the
daughter.
paint.
That's Larry Bird's daughter. Just for y'all who do not know, so you know basketball runs in her DNA. Having to be a legend as a father.
She been doing it for a long time. She been doing it for a long time, and with her experience, I'm sure that's a big impact because they have a few young players just like Brianna Stewart from Connecticut. I believe she's a 1 or 2 year player, so she's just getting her foot wet. She's talented, but Sue Bird, I'm sure, is the head of that snake, and she's spreading that knowledge from her years of being in the WNBA to those younger players to where they elevate their game even more. They on the 8-game winning streak. That's crazy. They dominate.
They is dominating the WNBA right now.
And Stu, I went through their schedule. They won. They beat 3 teams by more than 25 points. Minnesota, well, they got 24. They beat Minnesota 90-66. They beat Atlanta, my team, sad to say. This is my favorite women's basketball team. They beat us 100-63 by 37 points. Like, what? Then they beat a decent Connecticut team 95-92. What? My last, they beat 4 other teams by +10. That's ridiculous, man. They dominating the league right now.
Is a team to be reckoned with. Most definitely. The Seattle Storm, and it's because they have solid defense. The ladies know how to move the ball around. They know how to put their hands up. Know how to stop stuff. I think they went up against the Phoenix Mercury and Brittany Griner and the Phoenix Mercury, and that shut Brittany Griner down. Like, the Seattle Storm is a team to be reckoned with. And honestly, as of right now, they're my pick for the WNBA championship. We gotta bring back the NBA real quick. We forgot to make our picks for the NBA. Who's your real quick before we go to commercial break? Who's your pick to take it all in the bubble NBA?
Say it again, my brother.
Who's your pick to take it all in the bubble for the NBA? For the NBA, who's your pick? Take it all.
I would say either because at the top you got Seattle, you got Las Vegas, you got Los Angeles. I would say Seattle is definitely my front runner because in the WNBA, talent really goes a long way, and they have a lot of talent. To really, for people who don't really watch basketball, Watch out for them aces. Las Vegas Aces. They have some ballers. They got my girl Angel McCautry, who came from my Atlanta Dream. I hate she left, because she really was a staple in Atlanta since she was drafted. Also have Liz Cambage as well, and A'ja Wilson, who's led the scoring in 6 of their 10 games, and she also led the team with a high of 31. So I would say Seattle is definitely a front runner, because it's hard to be a team at the top because they show it. Every game they show it. Just like Seattle was dominating every game, that's how it would be in the playoffs. But Las Vegas Aces would definitely be to see them knocking off Seattle.
I completely agree with you, man. So, what about your pick for the NBA for the fellas, man? What's your pick for them?
Say it again, boss. I'm having some hearing issues on this side.
Are you good, bro? I was saying, what's your pick for the fellas? Who your pick for the fellas?
I'm still having some issues. Hold on one second.
Are we good? We good. With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hey, how you doing? Did you know that for this year's Super Bowl, advertisers paid over $5 million per 30 seconds of airtime? That's more money than I made in the whole year. Check out these top 10 funniest ads from Super Bowl 2020. I'm sure we'll all agree it was money well spent. Number 10.
What's that?
Reese's Big 5 Bar. Chocolate, peanuts, caramel, peanut butter, pretzels.
Never heard of it.
Where have you been? Under a rock?
Do it to me.
What, were you born yesterday?
Really, Trish?
Me neither. Were you raised by wolves?
Really insensitive, Trish.
Are you clueless? Head in the sand?
That's offensive, Trish. Yeah, Trish.
You from another planet?
I never heard of Take 5 neither. Again!
Oh, Trish. None of us have heard of Take 5. I'm do it now.
Reese's Take 5, the best bar you've never heard of.
Number 9! Baby, coming! Alexa, turn down the thermostat.
Okay, turning down thermostat.
Ready. Huh. Here we go. What do you think people did before Alexa? Alexa, turn the temperature down 2 degrees. Thank you, dear. Alexa, tell me a joke.
Jokes. God, you think I know loads? Look at me.
Next.
News! Get your news here!
Alex, what's today's news?
Doesn't matter, it's all fake.
Al, play that song I like. Al? Man, song.
Say? Tell me something interesting, okay? The earth is flat, on which note is place.
Aleximus, send this message to Prince Constantine.
Alicia, remind me to delete those tapes.
Yes, Mr. President. I delete.
Yeah, I don't know what people did before Alexa.
Alexa, play my favorite song.
And we are back, man. We back with the people, man. before we left, we were trying to get King Thompson's pick. So let's see what we got. AT, bro. Last, can you hear me? We good? We good, Aaron? Nah, I guess not. Like like we always say before, man. Make sure you guys go like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you guys can help support us here on YouTube, support us here on Facebook to help us get better equipment so we don't have to worry about the technical difficulties that we be having. But it's all right. Personally, I'm gonna dive right into my pick. I think personally, if the Lakers can get their stuff together, the Lakers can take it home. But do not sleep. Do not sleep on them Clippers and them Bucks. Personally, I think Giannis, this is a year. This is a year for Giannis and them Bucks. Aaron, man, I see you still on here, man. You hear me? You good? You got your mic and stuff? You good? Because personally, bro, the Bucks for me is the team to take it, bro. I think the Bucks might take it all. So, how you feel about that, bro? Good. All right, so we still lost him. But it's all right. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it pushing. Next up on the agenda, we talking about college basketball, man. College basketball. As you guys know, I'm a Buckeye till I die. Everything I do, I bleed scarlet and gray. That's just who I am as a diehard Buckeye. So we're going to talk about college basketball. We're going to talk about college football real quick. College basketball, man. As you guys know, the Big Ten has suspended all fall sports. The Big Ten has suspended all fall sports. So, Aaron, what you think about the Big Ten and the Pac-12 suspending all fall sports?
What's going on? Welcome back. What we talking about, Stu?
I was just saying, man, how you feel about the Big Ten and the Pac-12 suspending all fall sports?
It's a bummer. It's really a bummer. I love football. I really do, and I want to see people play. But my thing is, I'm not. But then, because I'm not in the office with those athletic directors, executive position people who are ahead of these institutions in the conference. So my thing is I want to know what they're thinking, because
Right.
it could be a good thing that they canceled it, but at the same time, it could be a bad thing because
Right.
it's a plus and a minus. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I want to know, and to save the season, or into themselves.
All right, bro. It looked like we have a technical difficulty. We'll bring you right back. Yeah, like we said, bro. Like my co-host was saying, we really want to know what is going on with these schools. Why can't they take stuff from like the NBA? The NBA and the NFL, not the NFL, I'm sorry. The NBA has it down pat. They have not had that one case ever since the first initial cases. Ever since they've been in that bubble, they have not had that one case. So they really have done a really great job of keeping the coronavirus under wraps. So the MLB, not so much. Baseball kind of fucking up. But as far as having the coronavirus under wraps, the NBA has done a great job of doing that, and that's something that these college sports need to think about because I need my football. I need my house ever in Michigan, and they're messing it up for me, and I don't like that. I don't like it. But at the end of the day, I definitely understand. Big Ten and Pac-12 had to cancel the sports for the season. They had to play it safe for the students. The students is the number one priority. I completely understand. I completely get it. But I'm not happy about it. And the Pac-12 actually went out further. They canceled spring sports as well. So they're not having sports all year long. Look how we got Aaron on the phone right here. Yeah, so all right, bro. All right, Aaron, we got you on the phone right here, man.
Bad connection, man. I'm so sorry to our guests and listeners. So I'm getting a real bad connection right now.
Hey, man, we got you on the phone, man. That's all that matters, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just telling people, man, the Big Ten and the Pac-12 has canceled all this sports, man. I'm really bummed out about it. I really want to see Justin Fields tear up the football field this year, and they go out and be probably number one pick for next year. But what's some things that you probably gonna miss this season, basketball or football wise, that you're not gonna see from the Big Ten or the Pac-12?
One of the big things is, like you said, you an Ohio State fan, but I'm a Georgia, I'm a Georgia homer to the heart. And Justin Fields is from, he's from Georgia. He
Right.
played for UGA before he transferred to Ohio State. So that's a big thing for me, because now not only am I not going to be able to see him on the college field, but how is that going to impact his draft stock? You see what I'm saying? How is that going to impact him going to the league to where he can make millions and, help his family move further in life? You see what I'm saying? So that's another thing that I will miss as well. But then again, it's going to be a big bummer, because, the SEC is already seen as the superior conference, and much respect to Clemson and the ACC and a few other teams like Wisconsin and the Big Ten. You're going to miss some teams over there in those conferences that's not competing. You see what I'm saying? You're going to miss a lot of that, and a lot of teams are not going to get a chance to compete. Just me being an athlete, I'm going to put myself in their position. If I was at those institutions of higher learning, I would be very disappointed, because I can't even show what I can do. You see what I'm saying? But I get it. At the end of the day, I understand, why it's happening. Well, they know, but then again, they really don't know, because it could be agenda behind it. It can be, it can be many different things that's affecting this decision. Right. So my thing is, I would miss mostly, like I said, I would miss seeing Justin Fields tear it up, and just the competition, the competition, and seeing these athletes go to battle, for their schools and different things like that.
Most definitely.
That'd be the biggest thing I would hate, that I'm gonna miss.
Most definitely, man. We're going to speed right along, because we did get a little bit behind time-wise, talking about the NBA. But NBA is just so, popping right now. We had to talk about it. It's the playoffs, man. You know the NBA playoffs going to be lit. But no, for real, though. So, my theory is, personally, all the players who are not playing college this year because they were in the Big Ten and the Pac-12, and maybe even the SEC and the SEC. The ACC and the SEC are talking about canceling the season as well. They're still in talks right now.
The Big 12 is still planning on playing as well.
Right. So you still got the Big 12, you still got the SEC and the ACC. That's three of the Power 5 schools, Power 5 conferences. I'm sorry. Now, with those two schools, what do you think about, let's say, the football players like Justin Fields and all the other players from Big Ten and Pac-12 using the XFL as another way to get their name out there? As you guys may not know, I'm gonna put it right here on the screen for everybody watching the show with me here. The XFL is back. The XFL is back. It has been bought by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, along with Danny Garcia and Redbirds, has bought the XFL. It's going to be coming back in full swing. They plan on having a season next spring. So coming right, they're picking up right where they left off. The week right after the Super Bowl, the XFL is back. They're going to be bringing all the teams back. As of right now, it doesn't look like they're going to change any teams. It's going to be the same 8 teams as it was before, which is good, because I still got to get my DC Defenders gear. You feel me? My DC Defenders, they was number 1 in the East before, you feel me? Before things started to go wrong. But personally, I really think that the XFL being bought by Dwayne, he's a perfect person to buy it. Him and all the people he worked with, I think are perfect people to buy the XFL, because he has a football background.
Yeah, especially with his background. I love it. Yeah.
He has a football background. He has a great charisma with these TV networks. So him buying the XFL was really a great thing for all XFL lovers, man. I was in love with the XFL until it ended. So Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson buys the XFL is definitely the headline. As you guys look for a couple other things, the XFL ratings were something really good. They were averaging about 1.5 million views per show. And that's really good for an up and coming league. So the XFL is something that I think Justin Fields may need to look at. That some of these players may need to look at, especially if this is their senior year. Like, yo, what am I gonna do? You guys see what happened with that one corner last season. He played 5 games in NFL. I mean, 5 games in the XFL, and now he's a corner for the or he got drafted by somebody, but he had a shot to go play in the NFL because he balled out in the XFL. So I think people need to take the chances.
Most definitely. And the XFL is, like you said before, it's a great organization, league, straight league, because they actually care about, they care about their players.
Right.
So, that's why I love the fact that Dwayne Johnson bought it, because he's gonna make sure he do right by the players and do right by the league. You know what I'm saying? It's not all about making his pockets fat. Of course, that's gonna be that's gonna become the reason he's doing it. But his main objective is to get this league up and running so these kids, our young men, can play this game that they love to get to where they want to go. If they want to go to the pros, they can go to the pros. They just want to sit here in the XFL and play and shine and just have fun playing the football, then they can do that as well. So that's why I feel you definitely have a point with that. I feel like Justin Fields and a lot of other stars, if they don't feel like, if they feel like missing this year of football is going to impact going to the league, then they should take that step, because I feel like it's a little better than playing college football, because that's next level before you get to the NFL. That's more experienced players, that's more older players who who played college football, but they probably wasn't as good at the time to make it to the league, but they actually, taking that extra step to prep and get that extra playing time so they can show what they can do. So I feel like it would be a good thing for a lot of people, a lot of males to take into consideration for real.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I don't think me and you talked about this on the show before. Maybe we did talk about this, but with the XFL coming back, a lot of high school recruits are losing. I know here in Charlotte, a lot of high school recruits, like here in Charlotte, they're not playing football this season. So that means a lot of high school seniors who were depending on this season are not. They no longer have film to go on. They no longer have film to send the scouts. They no longer have anything to show scouts like, yo, I deserve to have a scholarship because this season has not been canceled. This season being canceled is so crucial for so many people, especially for seniors, because now they have no film to send to the NFL. They have no film to send to these colleges. They have no film to send to these different places. So I think personally, I think the XFL is going to be so crucial for a lot of high school players, for a lot of college players. And I think a lot of cream up people, or maybe people who are underrated, they're gonna graduate high school and they're gonna go to one of the 8 cities and try out for the XFL team, and then find out they were really good. Because one, that means they get paid $50,000 a year, $50,000 for the season. On top of that, and they get a chance to play and have NFL coaching and all that. So the XFL, I really think, is a great opportunity, especially for this season right here, because so many players they don't have the film, because they don't have the film to play, they don't have the film to show. In XFL, you don't really need film. All you do is you go to a tryout and they put you on a team based off the tryout, which I think is the best type of. It's not even like a tryout; it's more like a combine, because
it's like, if you think about it, that's like college and walk-on. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not the fact that you wasn't offered a scholarship, but if you come as a walk-on and show them what you can do, then they're gonna see your potential and that you're a skilled player.
Exactly. So I think a lot of people need to think about that. I know personally, if I was coming out of high school this year, man, I'd say fuck college, man. I'm going to the XFL, man. If I knew I had the talents, I'd definitely go to the XFL, bro. That's what I would do, man. That is what I would do. I would go straight to the XFL, because college, man, you ain't gonna get paid for it. At least you making 50 G's a season on the XFL. Get your little part-time job on the side. You Gucci. You get to play football and make money at the same time. Man, of course I'm choosing XFL.
Tell you, man. Hey, but Stu, it's kind of off topic, but I wanted to kind of jump back to not college, but basketball, because
most definitely.
This is a big a big, big storyline that people probably don't know or probably need to know about. So pretty much from the NCAA executive's mouth, they will have a March Madness tournament in 2021.
That's crucial. They
planning a tournament. They planning a special tournament. The VP of basketball says we are going to have a tournament. It's going to be special. We have our preferences about how we like to have it be, but if we have to adjust accordingly, the health and safety of the players and the coaches and all the people around the games, referees, the fans will be primary. But ultimately, it will also include determining a national champion in the fairness and most equitable way that we can under these unusual circumstances. So I think it's important to know we're going to have it. So with that being said, for all the people who was kind of upset, disappointed, mad, maybe even happy because your team just probably wouldn't make it anyway. It's going to be a tournament regardless.
Exactly.
It's gonna be a tournament, and like it said in the messages, they're going to find a equal way, a fair way to measure every team that, played basketball, and they're going to have a good tournament to where they can determine championship. So I'm excited about that because I feel like a lot of teams feel like they was cheated, So this would give a lot of teams a chance to show that we gonna do what it do, now that we had this opportunity because it was once taken away from us.
Exactly. And it is very crucial because a lot of them teams was balling out. I know my Buckeyes was having a decent season. They wasn't having the best season, but my Buckeyes having a decent season. So a lot of these teams really are fighting for that spot in the March Madness tournament. So having the tournament again will be something crucial. I guess the NCAA looked at what the NBA was doing and decided they can do it as well.
That's what they can do a bubble. I'm sure they're gonna do a bubble.
Yeah, they're gonna do a bubble. Instead of traveling to like 7 different cities, it'll just be in one city. And they're gonna keep it real.
Yeah, for sure. And it was a lot of teams. Making noise that a lot of mid-major schools who were definitely going to sneak to the tournament, but trying to mess them up because cut the COVID.
Exactly.
You got let me see, just like in Murray State, let me see. A lot of teams that usually don't really get a lot of clout or shine,
Right, a lot of these teams are starting to get clout and shine as of now because people like Ja Morant. People like Ja Morant really put those schools on the map. So they really are taking the time to look at those schools, dive deeper into the mid-major schools because they don't want to miss a talent like Ja Morant ever again. So they're really looking into these mid-major schools now and giving them a fair chance and a fair opportunity to be in a national stage. And that's something I really like about it.
Right, like just to name a few teams, you got Stephen F., Austin, East Tennessee State. You see out there, like schools like that who didn't get an opportunity. They were having a great year.
Exactly.
It just didn't get that opportunity. Once, even recruitment wise, impact.
Exactly.
They go back to how they work. Not saying that, but looking at the downside of it, what if they don't have what if it was they one time to prove to top recruits that okay, we can ball. East Tennessee on the top stage. You should come here. You said
right. It is. It definitely is. It definitely is, man. It definitely is. So basketball, man. Basketball is so many great things. I'm glad basketball can be a pioneer for different sports. The NBA really has been the front runner ever since COVID first started. The NBA was the first to shut everything down, and they were the second technically to open back up, but they were the first to open back up correctly.
not mistaken.
Oh yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right. Hockey was the first start back up. Hockey was first start back up. Now the MLB did start up before basketball, but man, did the MLB mess up, bro? We want to talk about a couple of things that's going on inside of baseball.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do, man. Because I love baseball. I'm not gonna lie, I love baseball. The Braves, that's my squad. So if you don't know Aaron love the Braves, Aaron love the Braves. But a few teams. Well, first it was the Miami Marlins. The Miami Marlins was the first team to have a member of their team or organization that's positive.
Mm-hmm.
They had 18 members that's positive, and 16 were players.
Sheesh.
So with that, they ended up missing numerous of games, and they were still in first place. Just think about it, because they're in the same division as my Braves. So my Braves sitting here playing games every day, but the Marlins not playing. They still come back. Their first game was against, I believe, the Phillies. They still was in first place, and they actually played the ball. I'm gonna give them credit. They came back and they still balled out because you had these different rules to where you have extended rosters and you have to switch out these people. But they kind of planned for it because they kind of knew you got to plan for the good and the bad. So
Right.
So they were actually in first place, but my Braves beat them today, 4-0. So now we tied for first place. But we don't leave that alone. But also the St. Louis Cardinals, they had 13 players test positive, and they just got off quarantine. I believe it was Friday or Saturday when they played a game against Chicago White Sox.
Yeah, the MLB's been really bad about trying to keep people on the lockdown as far as coronavirus goes. It's been pretty bad in the MLB as far as baseball players go. They really have got to lock down on that. Make sure their players are staying inside, wearing their mask, and taking good care of their hygiene. But with that being said, man, another league that has not started yet and is waiting for, I guess, the right time that is about to start. It's football season. Okay, it's NFL season. So the NFL squads are gearing up. They're in training camp right now. But for so long that a lot of the players did not even want to come back because of the safety, because of the COVID-19. And so my question to you is, do you feel like the NFL is going to make them play without fans this season?
I feel like it's a possibility, but I feel like they don't have the mindset. And we talked about this again on different shows about how the NBA is different from the NFL. The NFL, Roger Goodell, he's the commissioner. I'm sure most people know Robert. He is the commissioner, and he's just a different kind of guy. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. In different ways. So I feel like he may have fans, but it won't be a full stadium. I feel like he'll probably do like 30% capacity, and he'll have like masks and all these different things. Right. I feel like they will. I feel like the NFL will. Especially depending on how the numbers go and all these other things. Exactly. I feel like they will have fans at the games in the NFL. Yeah, I feel that 100%, man. I feel 100%. The NFL, I think, is going to be really good. If they can control the coronavirus and keep everything at bay, I think this is going to be a really great season. I think there's a lot of good teams out there. I think the AFC North really is for me, is the division to watch, the AFC North. Because you got the Browns, who, if they can, they drafted offensive linemen to help shore up that O-line, because that O-line was garbage. They got Baker Mayfield. They got a coach that can actually coach Baker Mayfield. So the Browns, don't sleep on my Browns now. I mean, that ain't my squad, but I mean, I really don't have an NFL squad. But if I had to choose, being from Cleveland, I got to go with the Browns. But the kings of the castle is the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens, they're the kings of the AFC North. Lamar Jackson and company is just vicious, just straight vicious. And nasty defense, nasty. Exactly, and you can never.
you can never fully count on Pittsburgh either because somehow they just always find a way to get back up in second or third place. It makes no sense.
It is. And I ain't gonna lie, I might be biased too. But I feel like the NFC South is gonna be very dangerous. And that's just me also just being a fan of the sport. Because just think about it, you got of course I'm gonna say my team first. You got the Falcons, we got Matt Ryan, we just got Todd Gurley, Ito Smith as a backup, you got Hayden Hurst, who we stole from Baltimore, you got Calvin Ridley, who I feel like gonna have a major year next to Julio Jones. Them gonna be some nasty ballers right there. On top of that, we have a nice improved O-line. Our defense is a work in progress. We've been having some injuries and different things like that. But I feel like we're going to build off last year when we won. I think we won 5 out of our last 8 or 6 out of our last 8. And our defense was top 15 in the league. So I feel like if we got Deion Jones back, we got Keenan Neal back, we got Robert Alford coming back. Hopefully, we can stay healthy. We can do some damage. Also, we added Dante Fowler to our defensive line. So with him, with Tack McKinley, and we got Grady Jarrett, we got some pieces. So I feel like we really are sleeping, But once you go past us, you got the New Orleans Saints, of course, who's a big threat. I gotta put respect on their name. I hate them. I dislike them with everything in me. But you gotta respect a man when they showing that they good at what they do. And the Saints, they good at what they do. And we just got to beat them. But they another threat with Drew Brees, of course. You got Kamara, you got Cameron Johnson on defense. You got Michael Thomas at receiver. They stacked. They got a nice team.
They really are. They really are stacked.
And then you add Tom Brady to the division with Gronk. I mean, he's not the Gronk that he's always been, but Gronk was never old.
Exactly.
Gronk was producing before he got hurt. So I'm sure he's still going to be at least 80% of the man he was. And when he was 100, he was the best damn tight end in the league.
Exactly. So he's definitely going to be a Pro Bowl tight end. Not to mention they got O.J. Howard at the second tight end spot. So and then they got Mike Evans and Kyle, what's that dude? The other wide receiver. Like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on offense is stacked. The question is on defense, can they hold up? That's the question.
And I feel like that's what a lot of teams in the South, to be honest. Because to be honest, I feel like the best defense in the South, I can't really say what it is. I would just go off statistics. You could say the Saints because statistically they had the best defense last year out of all 4 teams. But I feel like even though they may not be the best team in the conference, the Panthers may have at least one of the best defense in the division because they had some nice pieces as well. But they kind of fell off once Luke Kuechly left, So
yeah, the defense is definitely a question. How the Luke Kuechly's gone, you lose that man in the middle. You lose the person who can runs the defense, person that calls all the shots. So we're gonna see if K'Wan's short or if any of the people can fill that void for Luke Kuechly and help so it's not so empty,
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, the NFL, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. So, do we have enough time to kind of dive into the final prediction for the playoffs, man? Because I'm itching to, let people know what's on my mind with these picks.
Yeah, man, we got enough time. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Let them know your picks for everything.
All right, so first, I want to kind of give everybody the schedule. For the playoffs starts Monday afternoon. You got the Jazz and the Nuggets, which was not, it's really no home court because you had the bubble. But you got the Jazz and the Nuggets at 1:30 on ESPN. All these games on ESPN. You got the Nets Raptors, 4 o'clock. 76ers Celtics, 6:30. Mavs Clippers, 9 o'clock. All those on ESPN.
All of them.
On Tuesday, also game 1s. You got the Magic and the Bucks, 1:30. All these on TNT. Heat and Pacers, 4 o'clock. OKC, Rockets, 6:30. Blazers, Lakers, 9 o'clock. All those on TNT. So with that, Stu, I'm gonna ask you your pick. If you ain't got it, then it's okay. But we're gonna start off with the Bucks and the Magic. A 1-8 seed. Who you got?
Oh, that's easy. I'm going with the Bucks.
How many games you think is rocking?
You said what?
I said, how many games you think it's gonna be?
Oh, that's gonna be 4.
4. I definitely agree.
4-0 sweet. 4-0
Bucks,
sweet.
Bucks gonna be too much. Bucks gonna be too much for them. We got Raptors and Nets. That's a 2-7 matchup. Who you got?
Let's see, Raptors and Nets. Probably go Raptors in 5.
Raptors in. Hey, you read my mind. Stop reading my mind. Raptors in 5. I definitely got to go with the Raptors in 5. I'm sorry, the Nets. You got some good pieces. You got Curtis LeVert. You got what's my big man name? I forgot. But you're missing a lot of pieces. And the Raptors, they just on a mission to prove. They trying to prove they so much. So next you got Celtics 3, 76ers 16. Who you got?
You said the Celtics and who else?
Celtics and 76ers.
Now that matchup is gonna be a good matchup right there.
I don't know.
Personally, the 76ers just Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons need to be broken up because they play good without each other, but they really don't play good with each other. I'm gonna have to go with Celtics.
How many games you got?
6.
I'm going with Celtics top. Why? Because first off, you got 3 bad men on the Celtics team. You got Jason Tatum, you got Jaylen Brown, you got Kim Walker, plus Al Horford and Marcus Smart. Some nasty players. Plus 76ers, you out Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid will be by himself.
Right.
Alone. And they just don't have enough pieces. So I say Boston and 5. We're going to the 4-5 matchup. You got the Heat and the Pacers. Who you got?
Yeah, that's like even as hell. The Heat and the Pacers. I might have to choose the dark horse and choose the Pacers on that.
Okay. How many games you got?
I'm gonna say the Pacers in like 6.
Pacers in 6. Okay, I got Miami at 5. First, I want to say I got him at 5 because first off, you missed Oladipo, who is a big impact. I know he was coming off injury, but he had a lot of time to heal. And first off, you got Jimmy Butler and TJ Warren, but Butler has locked down Warren every time they play, and it's never been a contest that he just got 2 playmakers and shooters. You got Adebayo, you got Tyler Hero. They got too many good pieces. I feel like he gonna win that in 5.
Yeah, man. Hey, time's winding down a little bit, so let's just go ahead and skip right on up to who we think is gonna be inside in the championship and who's gonna take it all.
I say we're gonna have sleeper. I got the Celtics and the Clippers. Clippers and 6.
Ooh, Celtics and Clippers and 6. I like them picks. Personally, my picks for the 2020 Bubble Series, NBA Finals. I got coming out of the East. I got to get the Milwaukee Bucks. I know the Celtics is bad, but I don't think this is the Bucks' year, bro. I don't understand. They gonna dominate the East. They gonna come out of the East. Giannis is just too nasty. They're playing too well. Bledsoe is just playing too good, man. They're gelling too much. I just don't see them losing. Coming out of the West, I want to say the Lakers so bad. I want to say the Lakers. But I just don't see it. I just don't see the Lakers. It might just have to be the Clippers because right now, I lost faith in the Lakers. Watch them during the bubble series. Get together like they were at the beginning of the year. If they're playing so far in this bubble, then it all depends on who shows up. So as of right now, my pick is going to be the Bucks and the Clippers in the NBA Finals, and my pick will be the Bucks in 7.
Okay, I like it.
The Bucks in 7. I'm talking about close game winning. Like I'm talking about somebody hit a game winning 3 or a game winning duck at the buzzer type. I'm that close.
Hey, it's gonna be a hell of a playoffs, man. I'm excited. But Stu, what are we talking about next week, man?
Man, next week, bro, I need for the ladies. We coming to you. We coming to you live, man. This is for the ladies. It is ladies' night all night next Sunday, 7 p.m. right here on the channel. You already know what it is. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Pass it out to all your lady friends. Next Sunday is ladies' night. We're talking about all the famous ladies who's ever made inventions. Or we're talking about ladies in sports. We're talking about ladies in politics. We're talking about ladies, everything. We're giving ladies time to shine. Ladies, if you want to be on the show and just shout yourself out, give yourself some motivation, do that, man. It's gonna be live. We might even do a 2-hour special just because I love the females so much. Y'all know how I am. I love the females. So we might even make it a 2-hour special.
I love it. Hey, that's yeah, we're gonna do that. It's no we're gonna do that.
Well, hey, my co-host just said we're gonna make it a 2-hour special. Next Sunday, make sure you guys tune in. Ladies, if you want to be on the show, hit us up on facebook.com/cutupstew. Hit my DM, hit Aaron's DM. Let us know, man. It's gonna be ladies, man. All Sunday, we want to show you guys some love. We're talking about the best ladies in sports. We're talking about the best ladies in politics. We're gonna talk about Kamala Harris. We're gonna talk about all the people. We might even talk about Monica Lewinsky. No, I'm just playing. No, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching the show. I love all of y'all. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys share and subscribe here on YouTube. The Truth Brothers Podcast on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you guys watch here on Facebook at www.fb.com/cutupstew. That being said, it's your boy Stu.
Hey, and much love. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff.